Hello everybody, welcome back to Shadowrun, Dragonfall. So, had a bit of an issue with some recordings that I did a bit back there, and I'm assuming it has to do with the same issue where I keep clicking off the screen. So what happened is I recorded an entire episode, and it was just audio. It just recorded my desktop, even though you could see my mouse cursor moving around, clicking on things, but you couldn't see what was happening on the screen. That's bad news A. Bad news B is that I also recorded 2 other episodes in the same sitting without going back and checking my previous videos to see that they're good. So I have to go back and re-record everything for you. So as you might imagine, I've put this off for a couple weeks now. But I've had the itch to get going again. I've kind of forgotten what's happened, and I've made a few poor choices that you'll never see now, that I kind of wanted to restart anyway. Someone ended up dying that I didn't want to die. So we're going to give this a shot. Hopefully I can build up the enthusiasm for it, because I was starting to enjoy this game, is the really sad part about that. We finished watching the videos for Green Winters with his terrible, annoying voice. So let's go talk to Paul Amsel. And like I said, it has been, I think, a couple of weeks. So if I get their voices wrong, I apologize. It is what it is. I wasn't very consistent in that factor anyways. The room goes quiet as everyone struggles to process what you've just seen on the DVD. Finally, Dietrich breaks the silence. "A dragon. Son of a bitch. Green Winters sent us up against a dragon." "The Firewing." Amsel's voice is thick with dread. "She lives." "I'm really starting to regret the fact that I didn't just stay at the hotel." "You can't go back to the hotel? You're not a prisoner here." Iger ignores him. "Wait a second. We don't know for certain." Dietrich lays a hand on Iger's shoulder. "The evidence seemed pretty convincing to me, love. I'll even take it a step further. I think that secret facility that we stumbled into was her lair." "Dietrich, you smart son of a bitch." The room falls silent. Iger and Glory exchange glances. After a moment, Dietrich continues. "Just think about it. The Decker that Winters got those coordinates from was posting about Fiercewing. Then she was killed by that same orcish bastard that attacked us after Monica died. That's a direct link between the dragon, the scarred orc, and the Harfeld Manor." "And then Winters was killed by the same thing that killed Monica." "Exactly. My gut tells me that the dragon is down there, 8-Ball. Someplace far beneath the surface. I think that we knocked on the door to her lair without even knowing it. And I think that, given what we've seen, the dragon will do whatever it takes to keep us quiet about it." "Okay, going on the assumption that there is a dragon, and that she will come after us, what do you propose that we do about it?" Anyone have any suggestions? Dragons are kind of scary, and it's called Firewings, and fire's not my favorite thing either. So let's just break out poker chips maybe and start up a game. I mean, because really, has anything bad really happened besides a few Deckers dying? Monica died, and that sucks, but I'm still not quite getting the reason that we are so gung-ho about killing a dragon. It's rare species, right? What we need... Oh, sorry. What we need is information. I think that we should pick up where Winters left off. We need to find Vauclair. And how are you planning to do that? Winters spent 20 years searching for him, and it got him nowhere. With the help of an information broker. Let me guess. Back to that fucking coffee shop with that big old jerk. For this, No. While Herr Burakazi is very capable, a task of this magnitude is beyond him. We need to make contact with the premier information broker in Berlin. We need to talk to Alice. Blitz scoffs at Amsel. Alice? Best of luck! And I hope that you're rich. Amsel raises an eyebrow. For this, rich enough. Even if only just. Way to go, Amsel. Who is this Alice? A most prominent figure in Berlin's shadow community. Ex-Schockenwellen writer. She provides information retrieval services for the F-state. Amsel turns to the computer console behind him and runs his finger over a virtual keyboard. The machine begins to hum. If Winters was right, if Vauclair is still alive, she can help us find him. The console spits out a stick of black plastic. Amsel plucks it from the computer and hands it to you. Here, your key to speak with Alice. A cred stick? Amsel nods. An encoded cred stick, yes. 10,000 win. Alice will not show her face for less. This represents the last of my personal savings, 8-ball. Make this meeting count. Wow. He really shucked out that money. You know, in this type of game, you expect to have to collect that money, but nope, he just like, here's 10,000. Spend it well, wisely. 10,000 just to talk to her? Amsel nods. Her standard fee. Alice is in a position to ask it, and we're in no position to argue. Just like I said, why doesn't anyone listen to me? He did listen to you. He just had the money. Blitz. With your ridiculous hairdo. Sounds like a fair trade to me. I'll take care of it. Good woman. Good woman. Good woman. I don't think I can quite pull that off. Especially not with 8-ball. Come on. Take the U-Bahn to the Altstadt Spandau. There you will find a connecting tube that the locals refer to as the rabbit hole. You will find a method of contacting Alice here. Rabbit hole. Don't call it that in front of her, though. Word on the street is that she hates it. Please hurry. While you're out, I will work on acquiring new contracts for the team. Alice is the best there is at what she does, and her services carry a price tag to match. Alright, so we're going to go talk to Alice, who is actually quite obviously I've already done this bit, so I've already met Alice. She's pretty actually interesting character, and I was not expecting her to be. I'll try to choose the same options, because the other ones might, I did enjoy the ones that we hit, even though they're going to seem kind of silly doing them a second time. Let's go talk to Malit real quick. But I'm going to still do it so that you see the same dialogue options. I don't remember what her voice is. Welcome back! What can I do for you? I'm just browsing. Don't mind me. She's got some solar panels up there. How efficient of you, Malit. Was there some other objective going on here? It's weird that it's still there. Alright, let's head on down to go meet Alice. So we go down to this empty subway tunnel here. Go to this arcade machine, all by its lonesome. The only active console in this derelict span of U-Bahn platform is an old video arcade machine. The CRT monitor set into the machine's cabinet glows invitingly. Cheerful, pixelated graphics swirl and dance on the screen. Investigate the machine. At the base of the controller panel, you find a cleverly hidden input port. The port is shrouded in black plastic and it appears to be the approximate shape of a typical cred stick. It's kind of interesting that you have the option to step away, like you're not going to do this. You don't really have a choice, right? I guess I could steal the money and just run off with Dante and my smoker drone, who we're really good friends, me and the smoker drone, if you can't tell. Amsel's encoded cred stick inserts Amsel's down payment into the machine. Internal motors grip the cred stick and pull it into the machine. It disappears into the port and the screen goes black. Moments later, a video image fills the screen. The picture is dark and grainy, a far cry from the bright, colorful sprites that previously inhabited the display. On the screen is a dimly lit office. The place looks like it was pulled straight from an old detective movie. From the Venetian blinds on the windows to the great swaths of shadow that paint the walls black, swaths of shadow. Center stage, sitting behind a large mahogany desk, is the silhouette of an impressive-looking woman in a charcoal gray suit. The tip of a cigarette glows cherry red in the shadows. She leans forward into the light, and you catch your first glimpse of Alice. Look at her. She's got better hair than I do. Although my facial tattoos are badass, and she doesn't have any, so eat that with your cool glowy blue hair. Her face is all hard planes and sculpted angles, with high cheekbones and almond eyes. Her lips are painted a frigid blue, but the look in her eyes is even colder. A head of lustrous black hair is interspersed with flowing streams of cyan light. Excuse me, I didn't realize it was cyan. Alice exhales a plume of smoke, then tips her cigarette into a nearby ashtray. She fixes her eyes on you, and her lips curl into a humorless smile. We're on your dime, friend. Tell me what you're looking for. I need you to find someone for me. Dr. Adrian Valclair. She raises an eyebrow. The Dragon Slayer. Interesting. She's steepling her fingers right now, if you can't tell from the picture on the screen. Maybe like sitting back in her chair a little bit more. The Dragon Slayer. Interesting. He's been missing for a long time. Yes, he has. The question is, can you find him? Obviously, if we say, like, oh, I'm surprised you've heard of him, she's going to get insulted because she is a person who finds someone. It's my job to know, or something like that. She looks you in the eye, and the smile disappears. Her voice is all business. If he's out there somewhere, I'll find him for you. He could be living under an assumed name in California Free State, and I'd still track him down. And if he's not alive, I'll tell you where you can find his corpse. This plot of Finding Valclair is reminded me of the Bacano anime, where they're searching for this guy. Throughout the entire show, it's sort of like a side story, and he ends up being in a ridiculous location that no one can find. I'm expecting something like that with Valclair. He's going to be... Well, I hope it's either going to be one or the other, right? He's in some ridiculous location that's kind of like insane, or he's going to be like trapped prisoner somewhere. I hope it's the insane, because I enjoy a heavy dose of insanity. Alright, I'm satisfied. Let's talk about the job. Nope. See, she steepled her fingers. Ah, got it. Alright, here's how this is going to work. When you give me the go-ahead, I'm going to start gathering information for you. Once I've finished, you're going to bring me a cred stick encoded with an encryption key that I will provide you. That cred stick will have 50,000 Yen on it. When I get my cred stick, you get your information. This is the deal. Take it or leave it. So this is what I said last time. Price gouging, huh? For a neo-anarchist, you behave an awful lot like an old world profiteer. Alice smiles at you sweetly. I wasn't aware that there was a difference between the two. In all seriousness, I'm charging you what the job is worth. Do you know how much work it takes to find a digital ghost? There's going to be wet work, breaking into government archives. Hell, I might even have to commission an expedition into the SOX. This is a serious undertaking, friend. Now, do we have a deal, or don't we? See, this is where Alice kind of grew on me. So typically on this type of, when you ask someone, that's a lot of money, is that worth it? And they're just going to be like, yeah, I'm worth it. Or, something very condescending where she actually explains the difficulties behind her job and why she's charging you what she does. That's not something you typically get as a response to that. In this game, and that's why I kind of got a little interest in this. This game has to surprise me in a number of ways like that, where you select something and they don't give you like the typical response, and it kind of throws you off a little bit and characterizes the characters a little bit more than you would typically get, or at least in my mind anyways. It works a little better. All right, Alice, it's a deal. Okay, but remember, you say go and I go. From that point on, you're on the hook to pay me my fee. No turning back, no refunds. Are we square on this? Yeah, we're square. Good. I'll be in touch. The screen goes black. Moments later, the machine reboots. The colorful sprites that you saw when you first approached the arcade cabinet return. There's nothing more to see here. Alice is gone. In a lot of ways, this kind of reminds me of just like text adventures, where there's not a whole lot going on in the screen. You're mostly over here in this corner reading. And it's why I found it a bit odd at their location of the... Wait, what is this? Oh, right. Of the text, because it's so over here, and I'm like straining to read it all the time because it's in this corner of my screen that doesn't even take up the whole screen. And I guess it wasn't designed with a big monitors in mind, because I have all this screen space that's not being used in this game, and it would be and maybe you can move things around. I know sometimes in games like this you can move the UI around and expand it. I don't think that's the case here, but maybe I've missed that. It's definitely possible. So let's go talk to Amsel again. Tell him we spent his 10,000 win on booze and hot chicks and everything else. Give him a bit of a ribbing. Bought some friendly lady dogs for Dante here. Mr. Amsel, what you got to say for yourself, friend? 8-Ball, did you make contact with Alice? Yes, I did. She accepted your payment, and I ordered a search for the information we need. Very good. I can't imagine that this will be cheap. What was Alice's stated price? You're right on that count. 50,000 big ones. He shrugs. It is about as I had expected. Thankfully, we are prepared for this. I have established contact with a number of new clients. You can find information on the jobs logged on your mission computer. One jobs file is on there already. While you're working to earn Alice's fee, I will continue to dig for clues about Fierschwing. If she is, in fact, roosting under the Harfeld Manor, then there must be some evidence to support that fact. A dragon is a large thing to hide, after all. Be careful, Paul. Remember what happened to Monica. I'll never forget. Don't worry, 8-Ball. I'm going to conduct my investigation the old-fashioned way, through context and deduction and careful observation. I will not jack into the Matrix until this entire sorry episode is finished. That's probably wise. Speaking of doing things the old-fashioned way, Malit is working to recover information off of those other DVDs. It's a painstaking process, and it will not be quick, but she is optimistic that she will be successful in time. Nope. Can't move this. Finally, I have been checking up on our friend, the orc with the skin grafts. I haven't heard anything back yet, but I'll keep you appraised as the situation develops. Sounds good, Paul. I'll go check up on those jobs. One last thing before you go, 8-Ball. Samuel Beckenbauer wanted me to pass a message to you. Do you know him? The orc who runs the shelter across the way? Yeah, we've met. Ah, well, he has a job for you. He wouldn't discuss it with me, but he promised that would prove worth your time. I'll keep it in mind, I guess. You know, Samuel's was a little strange when I talked to him earlier because he thought I knew something about him that I didn't. It was a very awkward situation. I'm not sure I really want to start up a conversation with him again. So I'll keep it in mind, Paul. We'll see. You know, if nothing good comes out of my other conversations, I suppose. All right, so we have to meet with Samuel, discuss. Oh, we did that. Then we have to raise our 50,000 yuan to pay Alice. So I think this is where I'm going to call it. This is going to be a little bit of a shorter episode than the other Dragonfall ones have been, but I'm a little paranoid. So I loaded this save up. So see, there was 3 whole saves after this. I'm a little paranoid about my recordings now. So, and if I record an entire 30-40 minute episode and it ends up not being, I have to go back and do it again, I'm just going to drop it. I'm not going to re-record you know, that long again. It's already kind of weird for me, but I'll persevere. We have at least 2 more. We have a few more episodes to go to catch up to where I was, but hopefully you're enjoying this. In any case, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.